Yeousch!
What is going on, everybody? Ninja here, and if you're anything like me, you're still playing Call of Duty way into the month of May. Who knows why we do these crazy things and, you know, put ourselves in these ultimate stressful and boring positions, but sometimes it happens. I know for me, I really do enjoy playing Call of Duty overall, but today we're going to talk about ways to improve your Call of Duty experience. And the number one way that you could do this, obviously, is to take your game out of your respective console, break it in half and throw it in the trash, or you can trade it in for the $3.32 at GameStop, which is less than it cost you to burn fuel in your car driving there to trade it in. But no, seriously, if you're like me, you do still try to play Call of Duty, even this far into the game's life cycle. In particular, we're talking about Call of Duty Ghost in this instance. But nevertheless, you got to try to find ways to make the game fun still, because there are a lot of cases where the game just doesn't seem to play like it should or like it could be to its potential. Now, with that being said, there are some ways that I feel like Call of Duty could actually legitimately be improved, and unfortunately, this does not fall on the hands of the community, because if you guys have played enough Call of Duty like I have by now, you realize that you really cannot rely on the Call of Duty community to improve the playstyle, because it seems like if players are given a certain outlet, you know, they're giving an out, maybe like an IED, an IMS, noob tubes, map creation, design, like, you know, whatever. The players are going to take advantage of things sometimes as cheaply as possible. And of course, this isn't a blanket statement for every single Call of Duty player, because there are still Call of Duty players out there who play, you know, just running around with their feet are on fire and running around like crazy. And to me, that's the way to play the game with the most fun. You know, not just sitting in one particular area or one little corner like a lot of players seem to do nowadays. But again, this burden does not fall on the community, because ultimately the community players are going to try to play, you know, in ways that they can to try to, you know, boost their stats and play for KD and play for score and that sort of thing. And they're going to play in ways that they can exploit every single facet of the game. So, how can Call of Duty be improved? Well, to me, it really, truly lies in the hands of the developers. You know, we're talking about Sledgehammer making the next Call of Duty, which I'll have future commentaries coming up soon about that. You know, we got Infinity Ward and Treyarch, of course, as the other two who are going to be rotating out along with Sledgehammer. So, this map, for example, is a perfect map that I have in mind, so I'm glad that the gameplay actually happened to fall on this particular map. But if you play this map enough, then you realize there are situations where the entire team actually likes to camp in the top temple. Like, I've actually been in games where teams have an IMS on each stairwell, and the entire team is sitting up there. For me, personally, that just completely sucks the fun out of the game, and it makes the game really boring at times. So with that being said, you know, what can we do about this? Well, again, the Call of Duty community is not going to change the way they play the game. So to me, it's up to the hands of the developers. Developers, unfortunately, you know, tend to rely on statistics in the game to make their adjustments. You know, they look at certain guns, how much of these guns being used, you know, how are these guns being used in the game, and what's the frequency of use, you know, how quickly are these guns dropping people, and that sort of thing. And they use these type of statistics to nerf guns and buff guns and that sort of thing. But unfortunately, they have no means, at least to my knowledge, they have no means of monitoring how people play in the game. They can only monitor the frequency of use of kill streaks and weapons and that sort of thing. And they make their adjustments in the game based off those statistics. Well, of course, this does not account for actual legitimate players' play styles. It doesn't have any way to account for that. So what do the Call of Duty developers need to do? Maybe they should hire a consultant, somebody who actually plays the game more. Hint, hint, Call of Duty. You know, you can hire me. I'm available. No, not really. But seriously, call me. Maybe they could hire a consultant, somebody who plays the game a lot and can, you know, kind of, you know, give them advice and tips on things that they could do to improve the game. And, you know, give players less outlets to exploit the game and to take advantage of silly things that really seem to suck the fun out of the game. But all in all, that's what they really need to consider doing. They need to look at things from a player's perspective, put themselves in the mind of the Call of Duty player and say, okay, if I was a Call of Duty player and I wanted to try to exploit something in this game or play something in this game as cheaply as I could, how would I go about doing that? And once the developers obtain a certain mindset such as that, only then can they make the proper adjustments in Call of Duty to make it a little bit more fun for the average Call of Duty player and make the experience better and hopefully start to increase traffic on the game. Because as we've seen lately, traffic does seem to be decreasing on this game. So that is all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks, guys. Peace.